case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Trying a little bit too hard, maybe. He finds his for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 29 yards. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will come out to the 25 as Hamler elects not to return it. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. He'll go up top here for Hamler. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Fourth down, Corliss Waitman now on to punt.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind.
He finds his receiver Williams for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams
with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Chargers take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown.
Mike Williams
On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first-half lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. It's caught inside the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Wilson.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one. Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On 2nd and 10, Wilson. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Wilson will throw again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, we saw that he had a lot of success last week throwing the football, but that hasn't translated to this week. But with his team behind, I don't expect him to back off. I expect him to keep firing.
They go play action now. Wilson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Brandon McManus to kick off for Denver.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
From the 27, Herbert. And he fires one incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. He's got a man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Williams brings it in. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 30 yards.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers extend their lead yet again. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here,
this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and
he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up third.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out this.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Chargers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Justin Herbert looking to pass.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And some room to work.
Austin Eckler. And he's going to get this all the way down to the 2 before he's wrestled out.
A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. On 2nd and goal, Herbert. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
It's a gain of 10.
On 1st down, Wilson. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now a throw to the end end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you,
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal.
The kick by McManus is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Charger drive about to get going.
But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time.
Now the 4th-round pick from A&M. This is Isaiah Spiller.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
From the 50, here's Herbert. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there for